This is the A and B Conversation Podcast.
What's good, family? This is B Smith, aka B Love. Welcome back to the A and B Conversation Podcast. Today, I have a really good friend with me on the show. We went to high school together. I've known her for over 10 years. Very opinionated woman. Welcome, Domo, the homie.
Hello.
Today, I want to talk about independent women. Not just in Atlanta, just overall independent women and how important it is to be an independent woman. And I couldn't think of anybody that would be more qualified to come on an episode and just have a conversation with me about being an independent woman and how important it is to be an independent woman. So that's why Domo is in the building today.
Hello.
So, in your opinion, what is the hardest thing about being an independent woman?
I think the hardest thing about being an independent woman is people not realizing that we independent women are sensitive, that we have feelings as well, that we want to be catered to. We want to be, loved upon. That even though we pour out into other people, people still need to pour into us.
Okay. I know as far as dating, I know it can be very hard dating independent women sometimes, only because y'all so used to being, not really the men of the house, but for single women, y'all are usually, especially if you have children, you guys are used to taking the role of a man,
yes,
in a sense. And I know that dating a woman like that as a man, it could be kind of hard, because sometimes it's like if you're so used to that role and then you get a man and then you have to be the woman all the time, it just can be tough. Have you ran into a situation like that?
Yes, because I know how to make myself happy.
Right.
It's very hard for me to teach someone how to make me happy. So if
Facts.
someone has not had to give somebody 100%, it's very hard for you to come to me with 50% or 20% because I know how to make myself happy. So I tend to overstep in a man's role and letting men be men because I'm used to being in that role. So it's very hard for me to step back and let someone lead me.
And that could be tough, though.
It can be very tough.
That could be tough. And I think that's because it's really no in the middle.
Correct.
There's either you got the women that are super independent, and like you said, they can make themselves happy. They pay their own bills. They're very responsible, and that's what a man looks for in a woman. But then the total opposite of that is the woman that might be, the daddy's girl who's always taken care of her whole life, and then she end up messing with, the dope boys or the dudes that's just taking care of them, and then they're not independent at all. They're super dependent. So it's really hard as a black man, well, not just a black man, it's as a man, period, in the dating world, because I'm going to tell you a story. I met this one chick, and she was a real estate agent. So she had her own house, she had her own car, she had her own everything.
Right.
So this is, maybe I was a couple years into driving trucks, and I'm driving like 8 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? So me and her, we start talking or whatever, we started dating, and she really wanted to see me one weekend. So she called me. She was like, I really want to see you. Can we go out? Can we hang out? So I'm like, yeah. So I was like, what do you want to do? So she really wanted to go to the drive-in movie. She'd never been to one.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, cool, because I've never been to one. So that's dope.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, send me your address, because she had been to my house a couple times. I'd never been to hers. So I'm like, yo, send me your address, and then I'm going to look up the address to the drive-in movie.
Okay.
So literally, if my house is here, her house was like 35 minutes this way. And then the movie theater was like 10 minutes this way. So it wouldn't make sense for me to drive 35, 40 minutes to her house and then double back. So when I seen both addresses, I called her back like, yo, listen, it would just make more sense for you to pull up on me and then I just drive to the movie theater, and then when I come back, either you can spend the night or you can go back home. It's your choice. So she like, well, you told me you was gonna pick me up.
Correct.
And I'm like, okay, I did, but there is also something called compromising. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't understand that word.
you see, that's
I don't understand that word.
See, that's the problem.
I haven't had to compromise. Why?
Because when you're in a relationship, it's 50 and then 50. Y'all make a whole.
Correct.
So if you have one person basically saying like, you have to come in and adjust to everything I'm doing,
correct.
But when it comes to adjusting to you and what you're doing, I'm not doing it.
But
that would never be a relationship.
But I think you just missed it though. You just said that she's been to your house a couple of times. You had never been to her house.
Right.
So whether the movie theater was 5 minutes away and it was right next door to your house,
right,
this is your perfect opportunity to show me that you're just as interested as me.
No. Okay, so time out. So her excuse for not wanting to come to drive, she just said, I don't feel like driving.
Correct.
So I'm a real estate agent.
Correct.
And I had to show 2 houses this weekend. And I said, okay, that's cool, but I drive to Charlotte every single day. So literally, when I drive to the not the Dollar movie, when I drive to the drive-in movie, I'm willing to drive, and I have to run my car the whole time we at the movie theater. I have no problem with that, and I'm paying, and I pay for all the dates we've ever been on. So for you to drive 30 minutes to my house and you saying that that's just out of the way, mentally that's crazy. And that's a woman that's probably always going to be independent, successful,
Yes.
and single.
No.
Because you have to learn, being in a relationship is all about compromise.
Right.
There's not, there are some women that get those guys as just whatever, happy wife, happy life, whatever my wife wants. If I don't get anything out of it, as long as she's happy, I'm good. And that might be the perfect guy for a woman like that. But if you don't learn how to compromise, it's going to be very hard to be in a relationship with somebody.
As independent women, we find our ways to compromise. And there are certain things that I will compromise on. There are certain things I'm not going to compromise on. And that comes with being alone for so long that you learn to what you will bend on and what you won't bend on. And so if I told you today, just today,
right,
and maybe there was something special in there for you. You may have missed the point of her saying, hey, I need you to pull up on me. I had a long day, and I understand you had a long day.
And
right?
that's what I said. We both had long days.
We had a long day, but I had a long day.
You didn't work today.
She just said she had.
It was Saturday.
So did she show 2 houses today? That day?
No. She showed 2 houses that Friday.
Okay.
So this was like 6 o'clock Saturday. You've been chilling at the house all day, chilling, relaxing. And I worked overnight that Friday night. So you know what I'm saying? So like I drove to Charlotte Friday night, came home Saturday morning.
Okay.
I'm dead tired.
Yeah.
You saying you want to see me.
Yeah.
I didn't call you and ask you to go out. You called me and said, I really want to go to the movies.
Yeah.
Can we go to a drive-in movie? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Can you scoop me? Yeah, that's no problem. Where's your crib at? Then the crib 40 minutes this way? And you telling me, well, since you said you was going to, like, that is crazy.
But if you said it, like, I mean, and I get it. Wait, I get it. Because for me, I would have taken in consideration everything that you're saying.
Right.
But your word means something.
That's not word.
Though. Wait. So I've had to learn. That's just. I had to learn that to stop depending on what people say and actually hear what they're saying.
Right.
Because I used to harp on that. Like if you said you were going to do something, which is where my independence come in. Because if you say you're gonna do something and if you call me back and say I can't do it, best believe I'm running in front of you to go get it done. And then I'm gonna let you know I got it done. And how I'm never talking to you again because you said you was gonna do this and you didn't do it.
So just like if somebody say they're gonna be somewhere at 8 o'clock and they show up an hour late, like things happen. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I said when I became
I'm not gonna call no names out. You know what I'm saying?
Mother, I had to learn that. Like things are going to come up.
Things are gonna come up.
Things are gonna come up, and it's okay as long as you have communication through it and say.
And that is the main thing that, you know, dealing with someone that's independent, like a super independent woman. The communication
Correct.
is something that's really, really hard
Yes.
to get through, because a lot of women that are dependent, they're used to bending
Yes.
because they don't have anything
To leverage.
they have no leverage. So
No.
they're super benders.
Yes.
But then you meet, you know, the independent, successful woman that might have went to college or got a trade in something and is
Right.
doing really good in life, that has a lot to bring to the table. She's coming to the table with the mindset of, I've been doing things my way, and I'm gonna keep doing things my way. And it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
It's a catch-22.
So like for like the last year, and it took me up to like this year to stop saying this, but I used to say, I bring so much to the table, and I got so much stuff on the table. You gotta bring your own table. We ain't even sharing the table. Like, it ain't what you're bringing to the table, because I got so much on this table that you gotta bring your own table.
So I gotta come with a dude gotta
You
come
gotta
with
bring
his
4
own
chairs, the table, the placemats, the spoons, you have to come, because
Okay.
I come with so much on the table.
But then in the relationship, you're gonna be sitting over there, he gonna be sitting over here.
Correct, and it's been the hardest thing in relationships, because I want people to be on my level, and not everybody. I've missed out on I've missed out on some really great guys that are now my friend, because I was judging where they were at that time.
But is that a bad thing though?
It is, and it's a good thing and a bad thing, because most of the men that I'm talking about are really great men, and right now they're in a predicament that's got them like.
But life is all about timing though, and that's another major thing. Like if you look at where I was in 2014,
Correct.
versus 2019,
Yeah.
it's a lot of women like, dang, I should have did right.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? But
Correct.
it's like at that time, 2014, mentally I wasn't the same person.
Correct.
Financially, I definitely wasn't the same person. So I mean, you really can't. It's hard to look at somebody after the glow up and be like,
Correct. But I think I could have been nicer. I could have been more compassionate instead of the way I ended things. Because a lot of times when I end things, I'm like, I got this, and this, and this, and you got that. So that's why we can't do this no more. Versus just saying the timing isn't right. So that when the time is right, we could come back together and at least either try it again or be friends.
so moving forward as an independent woman, if you meet somebody that doesn't have that table
Correct.
to come, you giving that one a chance.
No, it's every circumstance is different.
So
We're not giving them chances, but I'm not as harsh as I used to be. I'm not
Okay.
this.
So it's gonna be like, yo, we can still be cool.
Yes.
So you're gonna keep them in the back pocket.
Not even in the back pocket,
That's
but
what
if
you
you
doing.
come to me, you say, "Listen,
That's keeping them in the back
I
pocket.
got a vision, right? And I can add vision. See the vision?
Down.
Okay, yes, and I'm keeping it in the back pocket.
Yeah.
I'm in the back pocket.
It's a lot of women that you meet out here, especially in Atlanta,
Yeah.
that have the story of, oh, I'm gonna do this.
Correct.
Oh, I got a vision for this.
Correct.
But the vision isn't really a vision.
Correct.
Like I'm not gonna call no females out. I love my women. But I had a friend of mine, a homeboy of mine. He was a up and coming rapper.
Okay.
Since like 2007. You know what I'm saying? So we don't talk anymore, but just chopping it up with him, I would try to see like what was his plan.
Yeah.
So he would say stuff like, since my music not popping in Atlanta, I'm gonna go overseas to Africa. I'm gonna pop over there, and then I'm gonna come back with the wave. No. Like that might be your vision.
Right.
But if the vision is not realistic.
Right. But I think so more for me, like, okay, let's say that, like you're trucking. So my guy came to me and said, I'm in trucking school.
Okay.
I don't know how trucking works, so I'm gonna call it trucking
Yeah.
school. I'm in trucking school.
Trucking school. Yeah.
That lets me know you got a plan.
True.
You got a plan.
True. But in trucking school, 42% of people pass
Okay.
and 48 fail.
And that's why I said you have a plan. Doesn't mean we got to get together right now. but it lets me know that you have something. You're working towards something. Versus somebody coming to me, which I have grown men to this day come to me and say, I'm in the studio.
Yeah.
You 30 plus in the studio with 5 kids.
Yeah.
You in the studio all day.
All day. That's a fact.
Like you calling me, what you doing? I'm at work.
Right.
And you skip over that I'm at work. You keep on talking because now you're like, so what you doing?
Right.
I'm at work.
Right.
Let me call you back.
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm in the studio.
So as a woman, you have 3 children.
Correct.
So you come into the table as a man. What type of man do you envision being able to come to your table and you look at him as, I'm gonna give you the keys. You can take us home. Like you can do this.
I haven't met that guy yet, so I can't tell you.
No, but what do you envision though?
So I envision a hardworking man,
Right.
a provider.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have patience. Cause I have 3 boys. We're not just children. We got 3 boys.
Right.
3 boys that's been in the house with no man.
Right.
So they kind of my men of the house. So
yeah.
you're gonna have to come in and you're gonna have to have patience, and you're gonna have some
You're
kind
gonna
of
have to have patience with you and the little ones.
correct. Cause we kind of run free right now. Like mommy's not as hard as a man would be.
Right.
You know.
But that's another thing. How would you feel about a man disciplining your boys?
So, I've had this conversation come up before, and it's one of those things that him and I would need to talk about because see, there's boundaries to discipline.
That's a fact.
And I'm not a mother that beats her children.
Right.
So we have conversations. I do yelling, but I don't hit my kids.
Ooh, at all?
Yeah, no.
Ooh.
Because I haven't had to
Okay,
because my
okay.
kids
they raised right.
they're
Right,
very
right.
much so we in line in that. So somebody
Okay.
coming in, I know that it's gonna interrupt. My kids gonna feel like, oh, it's time to cut up because we
Yeah.
are assert
Yeah.
our manliness in this house.
Right.
So they don't know
This is ours.
how
Yeah, we run this.
So I see them, and so upbringing.
Yeah.
We talked about that. Like
Yeah.
I have to know your upbringing
Yes.
because your upbringing is gonna determine how you run this household.
Yes. Amen.
And so for me to release power to you to run this household, I gotta make sure you sane. You okay. Mentally you able to run this household.
Yeah.
Because like you just said, you're not dealing with just
And that's tough.
kids, you're dealing with a grown behind woman who's used to running her household.
Yeah.
So
And nowadays it's like that's why I got so much respect for you is being a woman who has her own everything and raising 3 boys.
Correct.
Because nowadays in the world we live, it's like you got all these women with just like Cash Apps and GoFundMe accounts.
correct.
And the what's the joint? The Snapchat bonus plus page or whatever. The secret page.
Yeah.
Like you can they shaking their butt and like just the fact that using your body to get the attention and getting the money that you need has become like what to do. And a lot of women be like, I'd rather do that than go strip. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go do that than prostitute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because dudes are paying like $20 a month to subscribe to the Snapchat Plus page. You know what I'm saying? And it's becoming normal.
Yes.
Like it's becoming acceptable to do that. And it's crazy with, the influence of social media. We talked about that. In the world we live in, being a woman, a hard-working woman, and just holding it down, it's not cool anymore.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's not cool anymore. It's okay. Like I know women plus 30 still living at home with their parents.
Correct.
Or if they're not living with their parents, they have to live with a man.
Correct.
And I don't know if I blame that on the way they was raised or if it's just the culture we live in.
It's hard.
But it's really tough at 31 to meet a woman around my age, whether it's, because my age range is like 30 to 35.
Okay. And see,
And-
I'm 30 to 50.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 30 to 50.
Yeah, I can't do 50.
Because guess what?
Can't do 50.
There ain't too many of you. There's not too many of you in my age range. So for somebody to come in my house to run my house, usually their age is like 40, 41. Mm-hmm. They've divorced. They've been through this. So they kind of know how to come in and just, you know.
And that's true because I literally, I have a group of homeboys. I don't mess with no homies that ain't taking care of their kids. And ain't so, but I do have friends that I have cut off, you know, in my late 20s, and I'm just like, yo, ain't no hard feelings, my G, but I can't respect somebody that ain't taking care of their kids. Or you still, you know, going to the strip club was cool when we was, you know, in early 20s, mid 20s, but once you start getting responsibilities, I don't even want to be in a strip club every Friday.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's lame to me. You know what I'm saying? So, as, you know, me being, you know, very, very strong-minded and being the man of the house, and having the respect for a woman like you, that's what I want to instill in my daughter.
Correct.
That's about to be 5.
Correct.
That never having to depend on a man, because once you move in with that man and you have nothing, like you said, you have no leverage.
No.
So basically, if he say, yo, you need to cook every night, or I'm gonna go to the strip club and bring a chick home, we're gonna have a threesome.
Correct.
Like, what are you gonna say?
Correct.
And if you don't do it, get out.
Correct.
Then where you going? You coming back to daddy house?
Exactly.
No, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. And I feel like it's become cool to look up to social media women who also have nothing.
Correct.
You know
they're not portraying that.
But they're not portraying that. On the gram, they all got the bag.
Yes.
But in real life, they ain't about shit.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And I know raising a 5-year-old, well, my daughter will be 5 next month, but raising a 5-year-old, these are the things that I want to instill in her, because I know how when we grew up, like in the 90s, and you look at what it is now,
correct,
I can't even imagine what the culture will be like 15 years from now.
correct,
You know, when she's 20,
correct,
going on 20.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to know the shape the world is going to be in.
correct.
You know what I'm saying?
And we're having that issue as even with a mother of boys, because I was just explaining to a friend yesterday that you got to understand, like, I don't have conversations in front of my kids, certain conversations in front of my kids. When I'm on social media, my kids don't know what social media is. They're not. And I have a 3-year-old. Okay. They don't know what social media is. They know what it is because their friends have spoken, right, but my kids can't tell you what looks like. My kids can't stand over me when I'm on social media. They know that when my phone is in my face, we need to leave mommy alone. Or, you know, I do it when they're not around.
Got you.
But you have kids now that are at school that are picking on the other kids because they don't look like what you look like. But the only way you know this is the way you're supposed to look is because your mom's still on social media, or your mom is introducing you to things that 9-year-olds shouldn't be introducing you to. So one of my son's friends today, he had on a whole Versace outfit.
Stop.
Fake or real.
Stop.
Why does your child know about Versace? Because my child knows about children's place.
Stop.
He's 9. He loves Pokemon shirts. He loves,
right.
That's the things my kids are talking about.
Yeah.
And so I heard him oversay, "You're lame," because my kid was talking about Smash Mario Brothers on the Switch.
Okay.
And they were saying, "Hey, do you want to come over and play?" And he said, "That's lame." And I said, "What makes it lame?"
Wow.
I said, "What makes that lame?" He said, "Oh, because they're you know, they want to play video games." I said, "Do you not play video games?" "I like video games." "So what makes it lame?" Right. But that's because somebody done told you that makes it lame.
Somebody told you that. Somebody fed you that message.
Correct. So even as an independent mother, like, I have to, the same way I pour into myself every day to make sure that I'm not falling victim to watching social media women. Because let's be honest, like, you can sit there on social media and your whole mood would change. Because I have to get up and go to a 9 to 5, and my paycheck don't look like what you're portraying on Instagram. Right. And all you did was take a picture, and you got on all designer, and I go to a 9 to 5 every day, and I don't.
But the thing about it is, and this is the thing that it really, really bothers me. A lot of dudes, they might be able to go get, you know, a Gucci shirt, you know, the Fendi sweatsuit.
Correct.
but they live in their mama basement.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So if you not paying bills, you should be an all designer. Honestly.
Correct.
I mean, you shouldn't. Your mentality shouldn't be that. Your mentality should be, let me get my own place. Let me get a car.
Correct.
Let me get a good job.
Yeah.
And then if you got extra money for that, then I can't say nothing.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? But to be putting all this stuff on social media, and you have literally you don't own anything, it's just really sad. But that's just the world we in. And honestly, being friends with someone like you and a strong, independent woman, it gives men hope.
Yes, I hope it does.
But you got to learn to compromise.
We're working on
Well,
it.
we learning it.
We learning that. You gotta understand. I know how to make myself happy.
Right.
So to give somebody,
But
and then to not know that you're going to return it in the end. I've been there. I've done that. I've done the compromise. I've taken care of me, and it didn't pay nothing.
The wrong man.
You're correct. So now is it sad to say I'm scarred, and now I got a deep defense up.
It's like this, and this is a perfect analogy. Okay, if you was raised in the hood your whole life,
Correct.
and you had to carry that pistol around because you don't, they might rob, you might get robbed, whatever the case may be, but you always had to have that protection on you because of the environment that you were in.
Correct.
If you get blessed to be put in another environment where you don't need that on you, but you still walking around with it on you, scaring all the neighbors.
Correct.
Scaring the good people away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got this bull mentality that you had to have when you was in that situation.
Correct.
Now that you've been blessed to be in a different situation, you don't have to be, you know what I'm saying? Like
Tough guy.
all the time with the pistol, nigga. You don't have to do that no
Right.
more. You know what I'm saying? So I relate that to you. If you were making the conscious not the conscious effort, but if you were making, wrong decisions, because we all make bad decisions.
Correct.
We all have had significant others that we shouldn't have been with. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So if you are blessed to meet a man that's coming to the table and he is there to compromise and he is there to love you and he'll be a good role model to the kids, but you still got the independent, I do everything by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like if you still got that on, now you bring in that environment that you had to have because you was with men who didn't deserve to be with you.
Correct.
Now you putting yourself in a position where you can be with somebody who does deserve to be with you, and you could potentially scare that off with the.
You're right. I agree.
I'll please myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
yeah. So, not to be on the Dr. Phil stuff, but I know because I was raised in a single parent home,
Correct.
so it was just me and my mom dudes, and so I know, you know what I'm saying, how I pay like all my bills and I do all that. To see a woman do that, growing up and my mom like basically holding it down my whole life.
Correct.
Seeing that, I just don't understand how a female could just want to fuck for money or give head for money, or you know what I'm saying,
Right.
or have to do that, or just living with their parents and not doing nothing. And I don't understand how a woman doesn't want to step up and be a woman, especially with children.
Correct.
So we definitely have to do better. I know with you raising 3 boys, doing the job that you're doing, it's definitely something to salute. And with me, just surrounding myself with those independent women and getting, okay, what makes you think that? Like just getting those thoughts, so I could take those thoughts and pour into her is definitely what I want to do, because being a woman nowadays, I know it's hard because there's not a lot of good men out here, but being a woman and having your own is very important.
Correct.
And it's sexy. You know what I'm saying? Seeing a woman that's on her shit is a beautiful thing. So I definitely appreciate you coming on, picking your brain, having a good conversation.
Yes.
And it is time for you to take us home.
All right. All right. So let's give them something to talk about. Let's give them something to talk about. I love.
It's about love. Thank you everybody for tuning in once again. This is the A and B Conversation Podcast. I am B Smith, aka B Love. And always remember, people, you can't pour love out into the world unless you love yourself first. Self-love is the best love. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week.
People are talking about people. I just ignore them, but they keep us saying we laugh just a little too loud. We stand just a little too close. We stare just a little too long. Maybe they're seeing something we don't, darling. Let's give them something to talk about. Let's give them something to talk about. How about love, 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 scuba, dig it, I don't know.